Newcomb winning both the men's and women's college basketball championships this week. A truly inspirational story out of Michigan State University, revolving around the men's basketball team and a young girl who showed the meaning of courage and friendship. And the OU sports scene is hot right now. We'll discuss all this and more coming up in the round table. Here we go.
Live from Studio A, this is the Round Table.
Underwriting for the Round Table is brought to you by Sprouts Farmers Market, New York Pizza and Pasta, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, located in Adams Residence Hall. Welcome to the Round Table, where the show has the name of a table that's actually round on the show. Get that? I don't even know what I just said. But it's a great show. We're talking sports. We're having fun. Thanks for joining us again. We got a whole new crew practically on the panel this week. And we're going to start with Taylor Newcomb.
All right, guys. Well, my least favorite part of the spring game tomorrow is that I'm not going to get to see Blake Bell rock those football pants.
Oh, man, that's sad. Mason Prince is up next.
UConn won the national championship. I really wish I would have picked them.
Man,
oh, wait, I did.
Oh, you did? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Hey, next up, Becca Slaughter.
I'm just really not looking forward to it being my last game as a student here at OU. So.
Oh, tears for Becca. And then Tyler Jones is also joining us.
We have 11 starters out for the spring game. That's really disappointing.
That's really disappointing and really impressive. Let's get things going. Heavy hitters brought to you by Raising Cane's. The Detroit Red Wings clinched their 23rd consecutive trip to the NHL playoffs on Wednesday night. Newcomb, is there a more impressive streak out there in the sports world?
All right, well, obviously, the Red Wings, this is really impressive. However, I'm going to give a shout-out to the girls who just brought home the gold, the UConn women's basketball team. They won 90 games back from 2008 to 2010, which, by the way, is the largest streak in college basketball, period, not just women's, men's too. The next closest is the UCLA men. They had 88 games in a row, which is impressive, but hey, 88's no 90, girl power.
I don't think there's a streak more impressive than what the Red Wings are doing right now. 23 straight years in the postseason, and they switched conferences this year from the Western to the Eastern. And that's crazy to me because they're playing new opponents, and yet they still continue to play great hockey. Shout out to Mama Dej because you love the Red Wings, and I like them too. So, Mama Dej, what up?
Even with their conference switch, I do think it's super impressive what they've done here. But I want to give a shout out to Roger Federer, who has racked up 23 straight Grand Slam appearances, and that has led to him. Which has resulted in his record of 17 Grand Slam titles. So that means he's been there for 6 years. He's giving himself that chance for 6 years straight, which I think is super impressive.
Guys, all those are great, but I'm going to have to go with Florida State here. Florida State has participated in 32 straight bowl games dating all the way back to 1982 with a 31-12 victory over West Virginia in the Gator Bowl. Guys, that's a lot of bowl appearances.
That's a lot. That's a long streak. But to start off the show, first of all, Mason picked UConn to win the men's basketball national championship last week, so he gets a point to start off. He doesn't get a point here, though. I'm giving the point to Tyler and Becca. I like both of those streaks that they picked out. So Becca is going to start at 0 because she picked an all-SEC final in the men's championship game. So
I was feeling
no
it.
good. Let's start Mason, Becca, and Tyler all with 1 point. Taylor, you got a little catching up to do to start things off. The UConn women's basketball team won their 9th national championship in program history on Tuesday. It was Gino Auriemma's 9th title as a head coach, moving his record to 9-0 in the national championship game. He joins the legendary ranks of head coaches to win 9 or more championships, including Phil Jackson, John Wooden, Scotty Bauman, and Red Auerbach. Quite a list of names there, Prince. Of all those, who would you want to lead your team?
I love Gino Auriemma because he always just seems like the world's against him. He always just seems so angry about everything, but his team's always good. But I would always take Phil Jackson every time. He went 67-15 in his first season as a Lakers coach. He was the fastest coach in NBA history to 900 wins. Only took him 1,264 games. That's a good coach. I'm going to take Phil every time.
Like Mason was saying Gino is a super aggressive coach, but you know who else is aggressive? Scotty Bauman, and that is why I'm picking him for my team. He has not only been a part of 13 Stanley Cup winning teams, but he has also been inducted to the Hockey Hall of Fame as a builder in 1991. That means that he has been able to transform teams and lead 3 different teams of the Stanley Cup, which is the Montreal Canadiens, the Detroit Red Wings, which we were talking about earlier, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, I mean, I'm taking him.
I mean, I almost picked Phil here. I wanted to so bad, but I had to go with John Wooden. The dude has 10 NCAA championships, 7 of them consecutively from 67 to 73. He has 21 Final Four victories and 38 consecutive tournament victories and won over 80% of every game he coached for 40 years, including high school.
Oh.
Wow. All right,
Some good
impressive. Yes, all these guys are legendary, obviously, but I'm going to go with Phil Jackson, too. This guy, he is so wonderful. Listen, there ain't nobody I would want to play under more than Phil. He won 11 championships, 6 with the Bulls, 5 with the Lakers. He coached Michael Jordan, the best of the best. Hey, maybe he can teach me to be like Mike. Just saying.
Yes, Lord, preach.
I am going to go with Tyler Jones here. He picked a coach who has a pyramid named after him, the Pyramid of Success. Tyler Jones with the point and taking an early lead. UConn completed the sweep of the college basketball world this season, winning both the men's and women's championships. Storrs, Connecticut might as well be renamed Basketball City, USA. Slaughter, of the 2 squads, who had the more impressive run?
As much as I love the streak that the UConn women came out with, like Taylor was talking about earlier, I'm going to have to go with the men. They were seeded 7th at the beginning of this tournament, and they were able to go through, knock into the Final Four, and they beat 2nd-seeded Villanova, which gave them motivation and all that momentum to go through and beat over 1-seeded Florida. And so I just think I'm really impressed with the men this year.
I'm going to have to agree with you. You can't deny that. They beat Kentucky, Florida, Michigan State, Louisville. I mean, these guys had a tough road ahead of them, and I can't compete with that.
All right, well, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to choose the women. Once again, listen, okay, obviously, yes, and I know that the guys were a number 7 seed. The fact that they won, hugely impressive. I totally get it. However, the women's team overall, and I'm talking even in years past, is the more impressive team. Gino came to the team in '85. It took him 10 years. Then he has won 9 championships since '95, 2000, 02, 03, 04, 09, 2010, 2013, 2014.
Okay.
Rattle
The
them all.
women's team is a total powerhouse. They're better. Sorry.
Okay, well, the men I agree with Becca and Tyler because the men had the hardest road. The women, it's not impressive because they do it every year.
Exactly.
It's
But
not
there's other good women's teams.
Yes. Okay, but listen who UConn the women went through. Prairie View A&M, St. Joe's,
Like, who are these
BYU,
people?
A&M, and before playing undefeated Notre Dame in the national championship, they didn't play nobody. Ain't nobody they played, as you say.
We're giving the point to Mason Prince here. Give Mason another one. Taylor, you were close. I just agreed with the men. They just had it was a little tighter of a run for them.
Swoop, the red hair. That's what it is.
He's eating up.
Some surprises so far in Major League Baseball. The American League East hasn't started off as hot as many expected. The Miami Marlins and Seattle Mariners are playing respectable baseball. And the Milwaukee Brewers, led by Ryan Braun, lead the National League Central. Go figure. Jones, what's your early season surprise?
I'm going to have to stick with the Milwaukee here. You know, I mean, they have had a decent season so far. 7-2 is what they are right now.
Yeah,
Braun's hitting .241 right now. He has 3 homers. He has 9 RBIs, all of which homers and RBIs were against the Phillies. They're on a 6-game win streak right now, and all of those were away games, guys. All of those were away games. And to keep the rotation healthy, and I think they can go up all the way.
Well, I've been pretty into the Rangers here lately. I've been watching several of their games, and gosh, these guys cannot catch a break. I guess this isn't so much as a surprise, it's just such a setback. So Adrian Beltre, out. Right after they get Yu Darvish right back into the game, and I mean, golly, I just feel like they can't get in there. Right whenever they start to get the swing back, there goes one of their other main players. They didn't allow the Red Sox to sweep them, which I think was a success in itself, but this is going to be a hard hit. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
The biggest surprise to me is the Cincinnati Reds. They're 3-6 right now after a team that was picked to they're picked to win the NL Central every year, and that division is always highly contested with the Cardinals and the Pirates and the Reds. But the Reds are 3-6 right now. Joey Votto, one of the best players on their team, batting .250. You got Jay Bruce, a slugger, batting .188. Good God, it's awful. It's not good.
My surprise is the San Francisco Giants. Now, they bottomed out last season, leaving with a record of, I believe, 76-86. And I'm just so happy to see them come back. They ended last week sitting at 5-2, and they were on the road. Last week. They were able to dominate the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the favored Los Angeles Dodgers. So I'm just excited that they've taken an early lead in the West, and that's good to see from them. They had ended last season on a bad note.
We're going to make it a 3-way tie for first place going into the break. That means the point goes to Becca Slaughter because the Giants are on a tear, and they're playing offensive baseball, which you never see out in the Bay Area.
Proud of them.
Give it to Becca and the 3-way tie for
Clap for the
first going
Giants.
into the first break. Coming up, we'll take a look at how the 2014 Masters is shaping up and what to expect from the weekend. Stick with us. Welcome back to the Round Table, the show that has a round table on set. I got it right this time, right? Yes! Hey, 3 people are tied with 2 points apiece. That's Becca, Tyler, and Mason. And Taylor is close behind with 0. Taylor, this is your round. Let's start things up. Brought to you by New York Pizza. It's been Masters Week all week. The tournament is in full swing now. Now that you've had the chance to see how things have started to play out, and Bubba Watson is in the lead at 7 under. Newcomb, who is the name we should keep an eye out for over the weekend, and what is your favorite part about the Masters?
Listen, my answer for this is totally gold. Like, I'm going to win for sure. Just kidding. Adam Scott, you totally screwed me. Up by 3 strokes now. Yesterday, you're in the lead. Bill Haas takes you 1 stroke. It's fine. You can come back. Yeah, today. What is that? I don't know. So, yeah, I don't have a good answer for that, Adam Scott. Thanks for nothing. However, my favorite part of watching golf is the naps. That may offend some of you guys. However, their voices are so quiet and soft and soothing. I'm all about it. I may miss some of the golf, but I just feel so relaxed after. So great.
I am picking Fred Couples. Bubba's leading right
Freddie.
now. Fred Couples, my man, he went 1 under today, which wasn't great. He could have finished higher up on the board, but that's fine. He's in place for the weekend to attack. Fred, I believe in you. My favorite part about the Masters is Gym Nets. Hello, friends. Gym Nets.
Okay, Zach, I do not have one name for you. I have 24.
Oh, my God.
All of the rookies. All of the rookies. We need to be watching them. There's a record number of rookies this year. That includes 17 pros in that group. And Graham McDowell has even said that these guys are not only well-equipped this year, but they are fearless, and they are fierce, and they are out for blood. 2 specific names. 23-year-old Patrick Reed is coming in with momentum from a win at the WGC Cadillac Championship. And another one that I think will surprise some of you, Jimmy Walker. As of yesterday, he is among 7 players who shot 70 and won 3 times this past season. So, I mean, those are a couple of names, but those rookies, they're playing hard.
Yeah, they're getting up there. I gotta go with Taylor here. Like, Adam, I had Adam picked right here, but
Adam just ruined all of our talking points.
he was great. But I'm going with Mason. I have to go with Fred Couples.
There you go.
Fred's my man. I love Bubba, but I think Fred's going to come in right at the end and just steal that right away from him.
Hey, Fred Couples is good, but Watson's near the top. And unfortunately, last time I checked, Patrick Reed wasn't even going to make the cut, Becca. Taylor Newcomb with a point, hands down. She's telling the truth. She likes to take naps on the weekend. Golf, naps, Taylor. It sounds like a win-win situation.
Thanks.
Moving on, more than a friend, she was an inspiration. That was what 8-year-old Lacey Holsworth from St. John's, Michigan was. The young girl befriended Michigan State forward Adrian Payne as he visited with the team several times throughout the season, the local hospital she was at, and became an inspirational part of the MSU basketball team this season. She lost her 2-year battle with cancer late Tuesday. Prince, what can we learn from this story?
What we can learn is you aren't anybody until somebody loves you. And she loved Adrian Payne, and she loved the Michigan State basketball team. And that's what we're going to remember most about her, how she made everyone around her happy and made them feel great. And everyone else made her feel great. And it let her think about something besides the cancer that was attacking her body for maybe a little more than 2 hours for a basketball game.
I I think another thing that we need to look at here is that athletes can be using their platform for this kind of situation. We need to look at the fact that Adrian and Lacey's relationship started from a hospital visit that he took with his basketball team. I think that this is a really important thing that athletes need to be doing and programs need to be looking into, because it not only made a difference in Lacey's life, but you can definitely tell by all of the media and coverage that has been done over this that Adrian, he's definitely felt a special connection with her. Like, he called her his sister. And we need to be looking at the fact that programs can be using their platform and their power and what they have in the community for the community.
I completely agree. But I'm going to have to say, like, make the best of what you've been given, of your talents. Adrian going out there being the kind person that he is and loving Lacey and Lacey loving him back. I mean, he didn't have to make that connection with Lacey, but he wanted to because he just felt that connection. You know, I mean, just be supportive of each other and be positive no matter what life puts on you.
Yeah, and I think my thing is that what I learned from it is that college athletes are just like us. You know, I think a lot of times they can seem a little bit untouchable, especially the really talented ones. But like you said, he just went, he visited her on a trip with his team and ended up having a really special relationship with her. And I'm not going to go on much longer because I'll probably start crying. But I just think it shows how special she was and also how special Adrian was. So,
Hey, Tom Izzo said it best last night at a candlelight vigil in East Lansing. There's not many people who can touch the world. Her story reached all the way overseas to Korea, Japan, all the way overseas. You guys are all getting a point for telling me what you learned from this story and sharing the inspiration that Lacey was. So pray for Lacey. Continue to do that. When we come back on the round table, we are going to take a look at the OU sports scene, from baseball team to the softball diamond, and even men's gymnastics. They are competing for a national championship tonight. We'll take a look at how the teams are doing. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the round table. Things are heating up into the third round here, and Becca Slaughter, Mason Prince, and Tyler Jones all with 3 points, and Taylor Newcomb has 2, so it's a tight game. Let's head to the third segment. Quick Hits, brought to you by Sprouts. 12 straight wins for the OU softball team, and they are just rolling right along. Even without star Lauren Chamberlain, they're getting the job done. Slaughter, should this streak continue for a while, or will it come to an end soon?
I think it's going to continue. They are, even without Lauren Chamberlain, they have proven their strength here on the field. And I think we have to look ahead to their schedule and what they have going on in the next couple weeks. This weekend they're in Waco, and they're playing a 3-game series against Baylor, which we need to look at. Their OU's record stands at 9-15 in that series, and Baylor is tied with Texas in second at 3-1. And so currently this 3-game winning streak that OU is on with the Bears, I think if they can pull it out in Waco, they can definitely come back next week and totally dominate Texas when they play here at home.
Tyler, what do you got?
So
I'm going to have to agree with her, you know. I mean, right now they're in Waco against Baylor, who is 7-2 right now at home. It is going to be tough for them, but I think they can pull it off. Then they come back and play a 3-game series against Texas. I think they can pull off that one right
Baylor,
there.
They can pull it off.
Exactly.
Texas.
No problem. No
And I think even with Chamberlain out, I think this streak can keep going. Katie Self has been on fire at the plate. And hey, I think there's some tough games coming up. Obviously, Baylor and OU are both vying for that top Big 12 spot. So I think if they want the streak to continue, they need to be on top of their game.
I think they drop one of those games down in Waco. Hey, by the way, shout out Lauren Nevitt for giving me crap last week about the softball team. Well, look who's still winning, the softball team.
Shout out.
Yeah,
Yes.
Nev, what up?
Hey, I think this is a tough schedule for them coming up, and I'm going to go with Mason. I think they're going to lose one. Mason Prince gets the point here. It's going to be too tough to road down in Waco, Texas.
That was for you, Nev. Hashtag blessed.
On the other diamond, the OU baseball season has shown some resemblance of a roller coaster, as it has just been up and down and all around. The team is looking to develop some consistency. Jones, is there a weak spot on this team that needs to improve? Or what will it take to get on a streak like softball?
Their weak spot right now, runners on base. Okay. They're leaving runners on base. Yes. Oral Roberts, they left 10 runners on base, and they lost. Yes. 2-0. They lost 2-0 with 10 runners on base. You can't do that. You have to get your RBIs.
So
you have to.
Yeah,
you got to figure out some sort of hitting strategy or something.
Exactly. That's it. Literally exactly what I said. This team really needs balance. They get hitters on base. They're doing great. And like you said, against ORU, they left 10 hitters on base, there's absolutely no excuse for that. we're just not taking advantage of our strong points, which is making us really weak in those ways. So something has got to change.
Yes.
This is where this stretch right here is where we find out what the OU baseball team is made of. They got a 3-game series with Texas, and they got a 1 game against OSU in Stillwater. Their biggest problem right now is inconsistency. Like you said, up and down season. That is their biggest problem. Their pitching's great. Their hitting's great. They just aren't hitting their stride right now. Give me baseball to go on a streak. 4 games, calling it. Deduct me a point next week if you have to.
Wow, that's really bold, but okay. I don't know if I have that much faith in this team right now, but I do have to say I totally agree with you. I mean, 10 runners on base, you cannot pass that up. You cannot. But then I will have to disagree with Mason a little bit. I think our pitching is super inconsistent. Or they are just, we have sophomore Jacob Evans, who he came in for ORU, came in relief, and struck out career high of 7 batters. But then we had before him redshirt junior Robert, and he just totally dropped the ball.
Hey, pitching helps win championships, but I like what Taylor Newcomb said here. They're not doing the positive things to get rid of the negative things. Give Taylor Newcomb a point.
Yeah, catching up.
Woo-hoo!
Gymnastics, 3 straight years for them that they have finished 2nd in the nation. This year, they're right near the top again, and have to battle a tough University of Michigan team to win the title. The team finals are today. Newcomb, should we expect the Sooners to come out on top?
Absolutely, no question about it. Seriously, guys, Michigan may be the favorite here, but I'm not going to throw any crazy stats at y'all. The fact that they have been getting 2nd place 3 years in a row, these guys are passionate. They are out for blood. The seniors that we have on this squad right now, they want it. I can promise you they want it more than anyone else. I think OU men's gymnastics is going to take the title, no doubt.
I think these seniors want it real bad. I think they have the best shot to win it. I think they will win it. I love college gymnastics way more than Olympics. You see them sticking their landings right there. They're like, bah! They're just in the Olympics. There, I'm done. No,
Because they're like, I do
college.
this all day.
College
So
is better.
proper, so
College
proper.
is better.
No, I have so much faith in this team, and I'm so excited to watch. And we have to look at what they did last night in the qualifier. Their coach, he totally said last night, he said that they are pulling back, and they didn't perform the best of their ability last night, but they still came out on top. Yeah. And I think they wanted to hold their energy for today, and I'm excited to watch because I know they want it so badly, and I think they can do it.
I completely agree. The OU men's gymnastics team, I have to throw a couple stats at you. They've hit over 444 4 times this season. Whew. They have to keep reminding themselves that they can put up huge points if they want to. I mean, they can do it.
They have it. They have the passion.
They have the talent.
They've got it all.
Tyler, I like the stats, but Becca's taking us inside the qualifier. And what's going on there? Becca Slaughter with the point and a tie right now for the top spot with Mason Prince. Heading into the last story, and that's an OU alumni. Adrian Peterson came out and said Wednesday that college athletes should be paid for their play. Prince, do you agree?
Well, more money, more problems. But I think you need to pay them because these college guys don't have a source of income. Their job is football. They need a way to eat, a way to pay bills for their rent. I mean, OU football's not paying for that, or at least they shouldn't be. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with you need to pay these players just a little bit to help them survive.
Oh, really? They're not surviving right now? No. I think the fact that they want money is greedy. I mean, come on. Most of these, we got to look at the sports that are wanting these, which is football and men's basketball. They are the big money-making sports. And that for the fact that they want to be paid, it's like, okay, you are handed a scholarship. You are handed an awesome education, or at least an opportunity to get one. Right. And they have so many benefits already. They get medical help if they get hurt. The fact that they want money out of this is greedy, and I disagree with it.
I'm going to have to go with both Mason and Becca here, but I think they should get paid if they're not getting a scholarship. If they take away the whole scholarship thing, pay them OU maybe around $30,000 a year, pay for school, pay for just the random things.
That is very generous.
I mean, $30,000 that'll pay for your entire year of school. Yeah, that'll pay for like expenditures, food, everything like that.
Okay, listen, I'm a little torn on this. At first, I was like, absolutely not. Kind of like you, it's greedy. You're already getting your education paid for. However, I think it's hard to blanket all of them. I think these guys are all coming from a lot of really different backgrounds.
Taylor, I love you, but I got to give a point away to either Mason or Becca to break a tie, and I'm giving it to Becca because she convinced me.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Mason.
Thank
she
you.
convinced me.
It's all about
convinced me. I'm
convincing
now
Zach.
on the no pay for play
Fighting
bandwagon.
words. Fighting words.
There's something about that chair. You and McCulloch both. There's something about that chair. Oh, it's a tied. Let's just give it to
Raising
the
Cane's Chicken Fingers, located in Adams Residence Hall